Hello again. Essay here. As an old TV commercial from the 20th century used to say, what a difference a day makes. Because if you were paying attention, you probably saw my previous video from a day before talking about what was happening with old Elon, Doge, and USAID operation. Well, apparently, my prediction that old Elon had kicked the hornet's nest has truly come to pass. Now, of course, some of you saying, so a bunch of people got angry at him? Oh, you don't know the half of it. Now, I'm going to show you a snippet of a video that old Timmy Pool did that really took a deep dive into what's been happening. And let's just say this is wild. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Far leftists on Reddit are calling for, let's just refer to it as extreme action against Elon Musk and his staff, to the point where U.S. attorneys are saying this is illegal, action will be taken, and Reddit has actually banned a subreddit that was making overt calls for violence. Now, I'll tell you what's really funny about this story. When you pull up the news on other outlets, let me start over. I want to stress this. Elon Musk and the Doge staff are gutting corruption. They are seeking out wasteful spending. And on Reddit, there are users in a prominent subreddit calling for his death. It is illegal to do this. The things they are posting are insane. And when you go to the press right now, you Google search this story, you're going to find nothing. Nothing. Hindustan Times, the only outlet I found that is actually writing up this story. Ain't that something? Weird, huh? Very weird. Take a look at this. I think we have it. Indy 100. Quote, they have broken the law. Reddit page banned after facing criticism from Elon Musk. I'm so sick of this, guys. I'm so sick of this, man. Here's r/white people Twitter. This is a subreddit. For those that are familiar with Reddit, it's an online forum. You probably know what it is. It says, white people Twitter has been temporarily banned. This subreddit has been temporarily banned due to a prevalence of violent content, inciting and glorifying violence or doxing are against Reddit's platform-wide rules. It will reopen in 72 hours, during which Reddit will support moderators and provide resources to keep Reddit a healthy place for discussion and debate. That's how bad it got. In the subreddit drama post, this subreddit drama has about 1 million members. The forum talking about drama on Reddit. White people Twitter has been temporarily banned after Elon Musk posted about it. These people are evil. They are evil people. Elon Musk posted about it. Someone said, oh, ish, WTF. Now, this is drama. Interim U.S. attorney made public a letter vaguely threatening to prosecute people for talking about the Doge and the lackeys involved in the Treasury information break-in. Do you see how they are lying to you? Man, I deal with this every single day. All the time. This is not an issue of Elon Musk saying, how dare you say bad things about me? This is an issue where people went on and they called for people to go and take the life of staffers and Elon Musk. These are people who are deranged, violent, sending threats, inciting violence. And what do you see across the board? Elon Musk criticized them and got them banned. Absolutely insane. Mario Nawfal has the post, Feds crack down on threats to Elon's Doge team. And give a shout out to Mario Nawfal and his team. And then they're posting on X. But when you Google search this story, the corporate press just says Elon Musk criticized them or they criticized him. No, they called for his death. They told people to go and take that action. Mario Nawfal tweets, Elon's government efficiency squad is now at the center of a federal investigation, but not for wrongdoing. Doge employees have been doxxed, harassed, and even threatened with violence online, with posts calling for their deaths. In a letter to Elon, the U.S. attorney promised to go after anyone threatening his people. He later doubled down online, saying his team was working with the FBI and prepping charges. The message is clear. Targeting Doge employees could come with real consequences. It's crazy. I have this tweet from Eric Weinstein I think is pretty interesting in this regard. He says, this is the administrative equivalent of civil war. Once you consider that, everything makes more sense. You don't have to agree with it or like it. Just consider it. Hey, don't you look at me. I didn't say those words. I was only quoting Eric Weinstein. He says, so far, it is an administrative war, primarily involving two groups of powerful people against each other. It really isn't oriented at ordinary people, at least not yet. Well, my friends, I bring this up because I think we are seeing this shift. I think Eric Weinstein is correct. Guys, what Elon Musk is doing, this is incredible. It is also terrifying. Him going after USAID was not a shot across the bow in this administrative civil war, whatever you want to call it. That's Eric Weinstein's phrase. He's also the guy who coined intellectual dark web. Let's see if it sticks. USAID has Democrats losing their minds. This is how the U.S. government funnels money to leftist activist groups around the world, supporting their worldview and their plans. Elon Musk stepping in and saying, shut it down. Trump agrees. Rubio was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's slow down there. That's not a shot across the bow. A shot across the bow is like firing FBI agents. It's like, look, you did bad. We're removing you from these positions. But that still means there's going to be a lot of deep state cronies operating in the bureaucracy. But the gutting of USAID is basically saying we are targeting the stern. We are going to sink your ship. That's the ship. That's their flagship. So this is where it gets crazy. Why would anyone want harm on Elon over this move? It's fascinating, isn't it? Now, the funny thing is, Josie, redheaded libertarian, had a funny comment. Someone said, in response to Elon Musk highlighting the death threats, they said, Elon is now sending the FBI after Redditors. And then Josie says, plot twist, the FBI are the Redditors. I got to be honest. Yeah, maybe. Here's the question I have for all of you. Have you ever heard of USAID? Now, many of you are going to say no. I know some of you will say yes. Maybe you saw Mike Benz on Tim Castirel or Joe Rogan, and he had a lot to say about it. Maybe you're someone who is learned and you have long known about how USAID operates. But I'd imagine most of you are like, I never heard of it. I don't know. Is it for its assistance? No, it's the Agency for International Development, meaning psychological operations, kind of stuff like that. Many of you don't know what that organization is. So my question then becomes, why would any normie, average person on Reddit making jokes about white people want to murder someone over the going after of USAID? My friends, I tell you this is serious. The far left is rioting, and we can shrug and we can say, yeah, they do this. Let's crack down and arrest people who are criminals. But I've said this. You've said this. I know we all have. They are not going to let Donald Trump do the things he wants to do. He has done so much in the past 2 weeks with the firing of FBI agents, now collecting information on any agents who were involved in J6 prosecutions, attorneys who are prosecuting him. Trump's going after the swamp in a way I didn't think was actually going to happen. He's exceeded my expectations. So, my friends, we've long said, they've already made multiple attempts on Trump's life. We've long said this. Anyone with a brain or two brain cells to rub together knew this. Powerful forces are not going to let Trump just do whatever he wants. Now, you want to talk about Trump getting in and ending war or something, they're going, this is crazy. But when Elon goes in to gut USAID, all of a sudden, regular people on Reddit are threatening to end his life? That makes no sense. Like, I'll tell you this. You go walk down the street and you say, should we cut the budget of USAID? People are going to go, uh-huh. If you went to the average person on the street and said, Elon Musk wants to stop government spending through USAID, they'd go, okay, I don't know what that is. You would be hard pressed to find a regular person anywhere who's going to say, "Really? Well, then let's go. Let's incite violence against him." That's not going to happen. So what I'm saying is, Elon Musk, with these moves that he's making with Doge, I don't see why the deep state is going to sit there and be like he's going to destroy our flagship, our one of our principal vehicles for soft coups, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just saying, the people online who are calling for violence against Elon, I don't think these are regular people. I think, I don't know, man. I don't see why a regular person would care about any of this. They probably don't even know what's happening. Like I'll say right now, after all of this happened, if you went to Times Square and said, so right now, Elon Musk is doing this thing with USAID and Trump agreed, Rubio is coming in, they'd be like, okay. They're not going to have any emotions about it. How do we get to this point? Take a look at this. Indy 100, a Reddit page, which Elon Musk called out over threats of violence. You think you could put that in the headline? Has been temporarily banned. This we know. Some of the screenshots say Muskrat's Doge henchmen have been identified. It's time to do more than dragging names. I can't read the rest. The next sentence is a direct threat of violence and murder, calling on people to take action now against them. It literally, the thread was full of posts instructing and telling people how to and why to go and end the lives of government employees. Well, actually, I'm not sure they're government employees. They might just be private consultants to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. But threats of violence. This is this is crazy. Trump's and Elon's Doge initiative taking a sledgehammer to the deep state. With Elon at the helm, Doge is tearing through, from Mario Nuffle, through bureaucratic red tape, exposing government waste. Elon isn't just lending his name, he's applying real-world business expertise to modernize a bloated and inefficient government, etc., etc. What I think, I mean, look at this. Going back to the subreddit drama, where are they posting anywhere here the truth that the real issue was that they threatened to end the lives of these young men? These guys are like 20 years old, by the way. One guy says, I didn't have much expectations from conservatives considering the polarizing environment, but damn, I'm surprised how Elon Musk became a sweetheart of our conservative, an unelected person having access to the whole of the federal government, yet they have zero issues with it. They voted for Trump hoping this would be the case. Here we are. U.S. attorney threatens legal action against anyone who impedes Doge. Doge. The acting attorney stepped in after Doge chief Elon Musk and his allies faced sharp blowback for taking over operations in multiple government agencies of the last few days. Together, the three departments make up a backbone of U.S. financial system and contain sensitive information. This we understand. USAID, blah, blah, blah. The U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. worked with Doge over the weekend. Quote, I recognize that some of the staff at Doge has been targeted publicly. At this time, I ask that you utilize me and my staff to assist in protecting the Doge work and the Doge workers. Any threats, confrontations, or other actions in any way that impact their work may break numerous laws. Martin did not elaborate on what the alleged threats were and which laws they may violate. Let me assure you of this. We will pursue any and all legal action against anyone who impedes your work or threatens your people. Took a swipe at the Biden admin as well, saying that they will not act like the previous administration who looked the other way as the Antifa and BLM rioters, as well as thugs with guns, trashed our capital city. My friends, this is just another shockingly egregious example of the narrative machine trying to do its thing.
Okay, you saw that. Now, of course, some of you are saying, oh, these USAID people, they're just mad because Elon was messing with them. Yeah, I concur. And as you remember from my previous video on this subject, I said that I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of people in the DC Beltway who these USAID people have contramat on, which basically turn these people into sock puppets to make them do the dance. And of course, if you saw on Tim Pool's video, damn, sinuses. A lot of the people who were like really, really pissed, primarily on Reddit, were likely the very people that were most affected. And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't doubt that. And of course, as you also saw in Tim's video, these people must have forgotten that the internet's forever. I mean, it's one thing to get into a knife fight in the alleyway or a bar fight and someone breaks a chair across your teeth and then you say, I'm going to kill the son of a bitch. Yeah, only the people within earshot can hear what you said. But when you say something like that on the damn internet, everybody hears it and everybody sees it. And of course, as you saw in Tim's video, the mainstream media basically tried to run cover for these people. And as you saw, Tim said only the Hindustan Times was the only people who mentioned it. And those people are way out there in goddamn India. But anyway, these people just don't learn. I mean, what as Tim Pool mentioned, that's the kind of behavior you get from people who believe that the law doesn't apply to them, that they have somehow immunity. Yeah, sort of like Hunter Biden style immunity. And therefore they figure they can do anything, go anywhere, do whatever, and no one's going to touch them. And the fact that Elon went into their house, metaphorically speaking, and started messing with their operation, well, yeah, it is what it is. Indeed, these people's behavior, it reminds me of a scene from an old George Papard film. It was called the Ground Star Conspiracy. Don't bother looking it up. It was one of those classic 1970s paranoid conspiracy thrillers. But anyway, there was a great scene in the film where George Papard is playing this investigator who may or may not work for the feds, but supposedly he's got like a lot of juice, a lot of clout, and this Fulberg colonel is getting in his face after an incident happened at some government laboratory that was blown up. And when George Papard stonewalls this colonel, the colonel says, "Who are your superiors?" And George Papard says, "Only I talk to my superiors and they only talk to God." Yeah. And when you look at these damn people over at the USAID, they remind me of George Papard's character. That these people have been pretty much have had no oversight for so long that as far as they're concerned, F the Secretary of State, F Congress, F the President, we are here and we're going to do what we want and you can't say diddly or squat about it. That's basically their attitude. And the very idea, the temerity that old Elon and his Doge crew would walk into their crib, metaphorically speaking, and start messing with their stuff, yeah, I can see how they can get super angry. And of course, you say, why are they so angry? Are you kidding? Think about it. USAID, they had like $50 billion annually to play with. And apparently they had no oversight. Apparently nobody could say anything to them about anything. And when you have that kind of situation, you have a lot of money and no oversight, man, you're just opening the door for a whole bunch of abuse. Because let's not pretend, you're not dealing with a bunch of angels here. You're dealing with a bunch of ordinary people. And therefore, the problem with ordinary people is that the temptation to go to the dark side is strong. Especially the people who have no morals and no scruples. And thus, when you consider some of the stories that have slowly been coming out about what these people at USAID have been doing for years, decades, I'm thinking, I mean, for example, remember that Friedman kid, for example? That he was with the FTX, remember that nonsense? Well, if you recall, FTX was laundering money for USAID, but not directly. No. If you remember the story, because the story came out like a year ago. What was it, 2 years ago? Yeah, the story came out right after that Friedman kid got arrested, where money from the State Department, probably USAID. They never got to the nitty gritty about exactly. They just said it was coming from the State Department, was going to Ukraine, and the Ukrainians, who are totally corrupt, was then giving a kickback of taxpayer funds through Friedman's FTX operation. And Friedman was then laundering the money, making it clean, and then moving that cash to various left-wing groups, including the Democratic Party. And then, of course, when Friedman got caught and got arrested, that money train evaporated. And indeed, that's probably not the only example of what's been going on over at USAID. Indeed, it reminds me of that old movie, Casino. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's one of Scorsese's better films. And in wait for it, that was based on a true story, where the Kansas City mob, or what they call the Midwest mob, had their fingers and toes over there at the Desert Inn Casino back in the 60s and 70s. And if you remember the film, there's a scene where Robert De Niro's narrating the story, where the Kansas City mob would have their bagmen show up I can't remember if it was once a week or once a month. I think it was probably once a week. And they would go into the counting room at the casino. And nobody would look at these two guys, wouldn't talk to them, not diddly or squat to them. And these guys would go up in the counting room, pick up a package that probably had money in it, and they would just turn around and walk out. And that was the Kansas City mob's cut. You see? But of course, if you saw that film, you know what happened. Eventually, that whole damn operation got blown up, and a lot of people got killed. Yeah. In fact, if you remember the very first scene in the film, Robert De Niro's character, who was the front man for the Desert Inn Casino, someone put a bomb in his car, tried to kill him, because the whole operation got blown up, and the Kansas City mob lost that revenue source. And someone in the mob blamed him. And now, of course, they see what's going on with USAID and Doge. And now, as you saw in Tim's video, all these death threats. I'm thinking, just like with that casino story, someone is obviously mad that Elon Musk is messing with their money. Now, of course, some of you are saying, but these people were just ideological. They just wanted to pass money to all these left-wing groups all over the world. Yeah, I will concede that, but you gotta remember, the AID had been around for a very long time, like almost well over 60 years. And you don't know how many years these people have been inside that organization. Because last time I checked, there's no expiration date when it comes to government bureaucrats. Indeed, some of these people could be there for decades. I mean, look at old John Bolton, for example. He's been in government since the 90s. And he has worked for multiple administrations. And you think he's the only one? Of course not. And therefore, there's a very high probability that you have a lot of people in USAID who have been working in government for decades. And when you have people who've been there that long, there's a very high probability that they've been skimming money off the top, just like in that film Casino. And wait for it, you ready? The fact that Elon Musk has finally, basically opened the damn whole can of worms, these people are really, really pissed. Indeed, it reminds me of something that my father told me long, long ago, back in the 20th century. He told me that with some people, you could kick in the door of their home, kick their dog, eat the stuff in their refrigerator, even mess with their woman. But then if you touch their wallet, okay, then they get mad. Then they want to kill you. because at that point you start messing with their money, and that's what they really care about. And I'm thinking, yep, Elon Musk, by doing what he did, he basically started messing with these people's money. And believe me, when you talk about a fund of $50 billion annually of taxpayer money to play with, that's 50 billion reasons to kill Elon Musk. No joke. But hey, as you saw in Tim's video, at least some feds, some honest feds, are stepping up to the plate and hopefully going to find out who these clowns are and shut them down. Because, as I said, it's one thing to make death threats in some dive bar. It's quite another to make death threats on the internet, because everybody can see them. And unless they use some kind of VPN, they probably got an IP address attached to that damn death threat. Well, that's all I gotta say about old Elon and Doge and how they truly kicked the hornet's nest with these damn people in the DC Beltway. And that's my opinion.